Hello and welcome to the latest and greatest LyteByte Studios Tech Podcast.
Number
Uh,
3.
yes, I'm your host, Nick, with my lovely host
And
over
I'm
there.
Joe.
Yep. And we
Joe.
got some great news to talk about today. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
But first, important news. We were verified on VidMe.
So this is actually really exciting. Joe, do you know our cool new perks that we get?
We no longer have a 30-minute time limit that made us split up our first episode.
Yes.
We
And
have increased file storage size stuff. And we're just generally cool.
we get a nice little check mark next to our name. It's cool. So yeah. Now, one thing that is going to be really cool that we're going to do with VidMe is right now we're planning on releasing all of our videos there earlier than on YouTube because generally it's just a nicer platform than YouTube is right now. So yeah, all our videos will be coming out there sooner than YouTube. So yeah,
It'll be nice.
yeah. I think we're thinking right now is like a day in advance. Is what we're doing right now. Sound pretty good to you, Joe?
Yeah.
All right. So now a little bit of personal news between us. I recently got a new graphics card today. Put that in my computer.
What
Got a
kind was that?
It was the RX 480. I made the switch from Nvidia to AMD, and yeah, it's working really good. I like it.
And what would the equivalent for Nvidia be?
Probably the 1060.
Okay.
Kind of about the equivalent there. So,
Nothing
yeah,
new here.
nothing new there. Oh yeah, I don't know if you mentioned it last podcast, but did you got your new power supply?
Oh
Right?
yeah. I think I mentioned that last podcast, but yeah, new power supply works a lot better, not a lot quieter,
Yeah, that's good.
doesn't break.
Don't have to keep GTA open 24/7.
Nope. But let's just jump into the first story here.
Sounds good.
For the first time, I'm doing it. I'm in charge for a bit. So the first story is Discord releasing. Discord, of course, being like Skype and TeamSpeak, communication software online, is releasing a paid service that is optional that you can do called Discord Nitro. It'll allow you to do many new and exciting things like
Ooh,
custom emojis.
ooh,
That's always fun. You get a badge. Everyone likes badges.
I love badges.
Your avatar can become an animated GIF or GIF, whichever you prefer. And you get larger file uploads that go from 15 megabytes, which was what we have now, up to 50, which will be when you pay. It'll cost $5 a month or $5 a month, or $50 a year.
All right. So yeah, I think it's pretty exciting. I mean, I don't know if I would necessarily pay for it. Would you pay for it?
Um, as of right now, I don't think any of that necessarily has a use for me, but who knows? Maybe in the future I'll be like, dang, I need this. I have 16 megabytes worth of things to send right now. I just wish I could do that.
Yeah. I think I've only encountered that error one time, and that was when I tried to send the entire Shrek movie as a GIF in another server.
That's probably quite big.
Yeah. Other than that, I don't think I've ever encountered the like more than 15 megabytes. But I think what it's more really is for like people who want to show their support to the devs of Discord, because as it stands, they are not really making any
Yeah,
money. So,
yeah. Because I mean, there's no ads on it, that it's just great. They really are great with how they've done it.
yeah, Discord's been really great when it comes to like rolling out all their new features and everything too. So, also while we are on the topic of Discord, you should join our Discord server for all the fans of the podcast. You guys can communicate one-on-one with us. You can post topics that you'd like to see us feature here in these podcasts, and even give us suggestions for new ideas we can try out.
Yeah.
There, you can find a link in the description here on VidMe and on YouTube, and will also be linked on our website as well too. So you can check that out there. All right, I think that's pretty much it for this story.
Yep.
So I'll go ahead and head on to the next one, which is Samsung has released some information on the defective Note 7 batteries. This is an article here from Wired.com. So Samsung released some information this week, and we now know that there are two types of batteries that were inside of the Samsung Note 7 phones. Now, the batteries that were manufactured by Samsung SDI, they did not have enough room between the cells and the protective coating inside the phone because the Note 7 was an incredibly thin phone, also had the curved screen on it, and resulted in being very thin. And having this massive battery in it with all of the other technology in there created just not enough room. And so when the phone heated up, it actually would not have any room to expand and therefore would just cause the battery to short circuit. Now, there was another form of battery made by Amperex Technology Limited, and these cells were actually missing the insulation tape on some of the batteries, and in some batteries also had sharp protrusions coming out of the cells, causing even more issues and causing them to short circuit as well. And
Expertly done.
yes, and so both of these, led to the Note 7 debacle, of course. And Samsung said that they have tested over 200,000 devices and over 30,000 batteries to come down to this conclusion. It really is just kind of a sad turn of events for Samsung because the Note 7 turned out to be a really good phone when it was not exploding. But we'll see how Samsung handles this in the future.
Yeah, but you can have a great product, but once it starts exploding on people, not that great.
Exactly.
Shame.
I think also, I forgot to mention, but so far here in America, 93% of the notes have been returned or refunded, which is quite good, actually.
Yeah, and I mean they got right on that, offering refunds and replacements. That's good.
Yeah, Samsung did handle this pretty well, I would say.
Yeah. Is that all we have to say about this?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay. On to some news that's out of this world.
Ha!
NASA.
That's a good one.
NASA is planning on sending an unmanned
Spacecraft?
spacecraft. Yeah, I was trying to think of another word. Couldn't come to mind. But
Oh,
to a asteroid that's been seen that is believed to have uh 10 quadrillion dollars worth of metals on it. Now they don't plan on getting these metals and use for industrial use. We already have metals, and it would be way more expensive to get them from space. But it could prove useful for planet formation and other uh, geo studying in space.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I'm sure bringing home $10 quintillion worth of stuff would probably collapse the economy.
yeah, that would not be good.
What was that?
That would not be good
Yes.
for anybody.
Yeah, that would be bad.
Anyway, on to the next story.
All right. So the FCC, or excuse me, Nvidia has left their prototype at the FCC for the Nvidia Shield Portable 2. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the Shield 2 or the Shield Portable, it was an Android-based game console, that handheld console with a little flip-up screen, and you'd get like an Xbox 360 style controller. And what you could do is you could play, of course, Android-based games and all kinds of other Android stuff on there. But you also could use the NVIDIA Game Stream if your computer had an NVIDIA card in it, and you could play your games on the go, provided you were on your local network at your house. So this new model was spotted at the FCC recently, undergoing prototyping, and it is shown to have a larger screen. The micro SD card slot and HDMI port and headphone jack are all returning, as they should. And the documents, however, were dated for July 2016. And so NVIDIA has gone under a lot of changes in the past few months too. So it's unknown whether or not this is still going to be an official product or if this didn't even make it past the prototyping days. So if you love the Shield original, you may want to get excited, but take it with a grain of salt because it's been a little bit of a while since Nvidia has been talking about the Shield.
Yeah.
And on to our next news. Our two next stories actually kind of tie hand in hand a little bit. ASRock, a computer part manufacturer, has unveiled a new form factor for motherboards. Now, this is the Mini STX board, and it was originally, this style of board was originally unveiled a year ago at Intel at CES, and it was designed to be a very small form factor board that could fit a full-size desktop CPU in it. So the only downside to that prototype that Intel had shown off was it was incompatible with basically any kind of graphics card because it was too small to fit like a full-size PCI connector on. Well, ASRock actually figured out a way to fix this. So they implemented the MXM slot, which is a common slot that laptops use for graphics cards and things like gaming laptops. So we can now use things like the brand new GTX 1080 in the mobile sized version and inside these. So some specs is it's a 5-inch by 5-inch roughly sized motherboard. It has the MXM slots for mobile graphics cards. It's a desktop CPU. Also has dual channel laptop sized RAM slots, so that uses the SODIMM RAM. Also can support up to 4 M.2 slots for solid state drives and for your storage. And also has USB Type-C Thunderbolt on the front and back iOS things, and a lot of other assorted ports.
And so, what's the benefit of using this mini STX
Well, really, the
style?
benefits comes down to like desk space and electricity usage because
It's just
oh, good.
so like it's just going to be a smaller tower and less electricity being used overall.
Yeah. So basically, like take your system and imagine it like shrunken down into maybe like something 5 by 5 inches.
Yeah.
So pretty small and
Okay.
compact. So this kind of segues into our next story in other small PC news. Sentry has had with their small form factor sized case recently was funded on Indiegogo, and after 2 years in development, it's finally been finalized on its uh, full design. And basically, what it is it's a console, like a game console sized PC case. It's below 7 liters, and this is the same exact size pretty much as like an Xbox One, different satellite TV boxes, cable boxes, audio equipment. So
Yeah.
it's a very common size that you would find in American living rooms under your TV. And with this small little case, you can fit an MITX board, a full-size desktop graphics card, an SFX power supply, 47mm CPU coolers, 2.5-inch SSDs. It even comes with a vertical stand, and it comes in either black or white galvanized steel. And they retail for $235 for the case alone, and the Indiegogo price is $195. So get a little bit off there, which is pretty nice.
Yeah.
And also, what's really cool is they wanted to raise $19,500, and as of last time I checked, several hours ago, they had raised 1,800,000, which is 930% of their goal.
That's.
So
I mean, it looks really nice.
yes, like it's whether you're like sitting in that vertical next to your computer or sitting it, in your TV horizontal or whatever, it really looks very nice.
Yeah. I kind of want this now.
Yeah, like see, I'm going to be going off to college next year, and so I have a big full-sized desktop rig here under my desk. So something like that I think would be very nice because then I could take it home when I come home on the weekends and stuff.
Yeah, yeah, especially transporting it places.
Yeah,
That would make it so much easier.
bringing that to a LAN party or something too, and just hooking that up to a monitor. it worked pretty good. Because I think in some of the product shots actually show it like being inside a backpack or a laptop bag, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm pretty excited for it because there really isn't a whole lot in terms of like very small form factor stuff out there. So yeah, I think I'm really happy that they raised this much. That's really an awesome milestone for them.
Yeah, and I mean, I think in the end, this is probably where most technology will go eventually.
Definitely, because back on in actually in with the previous story with the ASRock board, um, up until the new GTX 1080 from Nvidia, Nvidia was always having the M line. So you'd buy a gaming laptop and it would have like a 980M, and it wouldn't be as powerful as the 980 for a desktop. But now they've kind of killed off that M at the end of it. So the 1080 in a laptop is actually very comparable to a 1080 in a desktop, which is
Yeah.
pretty cool too. So yeah, and yeah, that's really about it for these small PC stuff. Our next story comes from Adobe. This was posted by Digital Trends, and Adobe unveils a virtual assistant that can edit photos for you. So they had a little 30-second teaser video, which shows off Lightroom Mobile, which Lightroom Mobile is a kind of a stripped down version of Photoshop that allows you to just do some basic edits to photos, exposure edits, highlights, shadows, different things like that with your photos. And in the 30-second clip, they showed it was a contextual assistant, and that way it will wait for your instructions. You can tell it different commands, and it will modify the photo accordingly. The only things that were shown was its ability to crop, rotate, and share an image to social media. But I mean, if you think about it, the possibilities are pretty endless with something like that.
Yeah.
And it was also confirmed to have a both cloud-based recognition and on-device recognition. So therefore, it would work whether you're sitting at a Starbucks on your iPad, on the Wi-Fi, or in the middle of a desert and just took some cool shots of like the Grand Canyon or something and want to edit them there, which is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's that right there. And up next is some more interesting news from China in their quest to monitor the internet. So Beijing announced that they would be having a 14-month nationwide cleanup campaign against unauthorized internet connections, and this is directly targeting VPNs. Now, what a VPN is basically rather than have your traffic from your computer go directly to, say, YouTube, in China, your network connection gets filtered through what they call the Great Firewall of China, and that blocks a lot of websites such as YouTube, Facebook, and other things. And so many people use a VPN because rather than their connection connecting directly to YouTube, it has to connect to another point first before it gets to YouTube. That's a really watered down version of how VPNs work. There's a lot more to it, but basically, it makes your computer pretend that it's in another country
Yeah.
from what it's actually in. So what China plans to do is mainly just crack down on these VPNs that people are using to get through the Great Firewall to these other websites. And this cleanup is effective as of now, all the way to March 18th of 2018. So it's a very long process for them. And they will also only be allowing VPNs that are authorized by the government, which, judging by their track record with the Great Firewall, these VPNs will probably be extremely limited as well.
No fun on the internet for China. Pretty much.
Yeah, basically. It's very hampering down into the, limits of free speech and stuff. As many people
Yeah.
have
Which
kind
China sadly does not necessarily share with us.
yeah. And I mean, hey, they have a right to run their country the way they want, but it's kind of a little bit extreme there how much they are limiting with internet usage.
Yeah.
Yep.
But But into something a little bit more fun. Elon Musk is hosting a Hyperloop SpaceX this weekend, like right now. So, from what I understand, the Hyperloop is a theoretical plan of travel where you have like a tunnel and you're in like a pod and it's supposed to shoot you through at like fast speeds so that you can go longer distances than like driving a car would be able to do in the same amount of time.
That's pretty cool.
It's not it can't be done yet because we aren't there. But Elon Musk, along with many other things, wants us to be there. And so they previously had a meeting where they planned and designed different kinds of pods that would go in the tunnel, and they have built like a mile long test tunnel to see how it works, and now they're using them to see like what can be done.
Okay.
As of right now, obviously I'm assuming of course they're going to be unmanned and it's might not work as well as they would hope, but still it's progress.
Yeah, that's really cool because I know like in other countries they're experimenting with like different train systems and things. I know definitely in China that's a
Yeah.
big thing. I think.
Yeah, and Japan's got the bullet train, or they've had the bullet train for a while, and
Yeah,
it's really fast.
super fast. So yeah, this is it'll be pretty cool to see how this evolves in the coming years into like new forms of transportation.
Yeah, and even just checking, after it ends this weekend, seeing how things went will be very interesting.
Yeah. All right. So now on to some bit more smaller topics here. We got a couple of them we can go over. So Google aims to keep you users of Gmail safe with a new blocking inside of the attachment system in Gmail. So from now on, Google will block all JavaScript files that have been attached to any email sent through Gmail. This comes along with the blocking of sending exe files and a couple other executable files of that nature. Instead, if you try and attach one of these onto your email, it will recommend that you share this in a folder inside of Google Drive. Because inside of Google Drive, actually, it does have virus scanning capabilities, so it can detect these things. So, another pretty good move from Google, I'd say.
Yeah.
And some more news here. DuckDuckGo, which is an alternative search engine to Google or Bing that is very privacy centric. I've actually been using it for about the past 2 years. I really enjoy it. It's actually almost a lot more contextual than Google at finding certain things. So it's pretty nice. And what happened with them recently is they recently hit a milestone of 4 million searches in one day, which is pretty cool. And 1 year ago, from around this time period, they were averaging about 8 to 9 million per day. So this is a really big leap for them. And yeah, I'm excited to see.
I think you meant 14 million. You said 4.
Oh, I said 4. Oh, I'm sorry. 14 million was their recent milestone then. Thank you for that. All right. So yeah,
Still,
okay.
still not at probably what Google gets in like an hour, but
Oh, for sure.
they're getting close.
Yes, but yeah, it's a big milestone for them, and I'm excited to see where they go from here, because they actually they are one of the like pre-included search engines inside of Firefox right now. As like you can pick it as an alternative to Google when you're in the settings, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And some other small news. The actually just came up here. Google averages about 3.5 billion a day.
Yeah.
So still a drop in the bucket compared to what they have, but
Who knows what the
maybe
future holds?
yeah, maybe someday DuckDuckGo will be one-on-one competing up there with Google.
Yeah.
Because Lord knows Bing and Yahoo can't really do it.
No.
All right. Up next is some news from Motorola/Lenovo. So the Moto Z, one of the most interesting smartphones to come out of 2016 with its magnetic mods on the back, the Moto Mods. Um, have you seen much about the Moto Mods actually, Joe? For that
No.
phone? Okay, so you get a phone, and it's just kind of a slab. That's really it.
Yes.
Well, with the Moto Z, fun fact actually, um, it doesn't have a headphone jack, and that's because they actually made it so thin they couldn't fit one on. But there's a reason. The reason why is the back is made of glass just like the front with the screen, but it has these different magnets and connectors on it. So what you can do is you can take the back of the phone, these things called Moto Mods, and just clip it on the back. And so there's of course some like cosmetic things to give it like a nice, grippy shell on the back, and that makes the phone a little bit more thicker, fit in your hand and stuff, and kind of personalize it however you want. But the real show comes from what's called the Moto Mods. And there's four different ones right now. There's one you can slap on the back, which is an external battery. And it's very intelligent. It knows when to like use the battery on the phone or use the backup battery. And when you plug it into charge through the Motorola Turbocharge, it actually charges both of them, the phone and the battery pack at once, which is pretty cool. There's also a camera modification that actually adds a full point and shoot zoom lens onto the back of the phone. So you can use that to take photos, which is pretty cool. There's also a miniature projector that grips onto the back of the phone. You can use that to like project movies and YouTube videos and things on your wall.
Okay, now that's cool.
Yeah, I actually there was a video I saw of some people who were camping and had like a kind of like a big white sheet hung up between some trees, and we're sitting around a campfire watching a movie. So I can see that being a really cool use actually. And the other one that they have is as a big speaker and a kickstand you can actually clip to the back of the phone then blast some tunes. And yeah, it's not wireless, it's not wired or anything like that because it just uses those little magnetic connectors on the back of the phone that you just clip onto it. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Anyway, the newer revision of the phone, the Moto Z 2017, is actually rumored to have an iris scanner. And this came from a patent that was recently filed by Motorola and Lenovo. And it'll be interesting to see how this works out because we know one other phone has had an iris scanner recently, that being the Note 7. Let's just hope that the Moto Z does not explode.
Yeah, especially when you have it like right up your face.
That's
That's
true.
not the time you want it to explode.
Definitely. And lastly, we have some news here from Verizon and with the Note 7. So, Samsung had recently pushed out a software update, actually, to the phone. Actually, they pushed out multiple updates. The first update would actually prevent the phone from being charged past, I believe, 60% in hopes that would negate the explosions. While this was right after the recall period had started, I believe. And what then they had kind of continually put out software updates of limiting different features on the phone to try and entice users to stop using this phone. And so the most recent software update actually completely disables all phone call functionalities from the phone. Now, while other carriers did allow this update to be put on the phones, Verizon, on the other hand, didn't really like sending this update out to the Verizon Note 7s because they were worried about people needing the phone to make 911 calls. So
Yeah.
Verizon took it in a different direction. They instead blocked all calls on the network side. So regardless where you are in the world, if you make a phone call on a Verizon Note 7, you will get a direct connection to Verizon customer service explaining how you can get a refund on your phone. However, you can still call 911, which is very nice for them.
Yeah,
So,
that's probably helpful.
yeah. So it's good old Verizon. They're looking out for us a little bit. It's good for them.
Yeah.
And this is also because of the 7% that still have not been refunded and are still out there in the world. So hopefully those get turned in and this whole Note 7 debacle will be behind us.
Yeah.
All right, so I believe that concludes everything we have here tonight.
It does indeed look so.
All right, would you like to close us out here with our some stuff some stuff that's coming soon?
Yeah, there seems to be a surprising new development that you all may enjoy for next week. You should look on Twitter throughout the week, and you might find some sneak peeks. Also, it's special for me because I don't even know what it is.
I
I'm
actually
gonna be
don't know what
looking
it
with
is
you.
either. So yeah, that's exciting. Guys will have to tune in next week to see what our surprises are.
Hopefully, we learn before then, but you never know.
Yep. And as usual, make sure you follow us on Twitter for the latest news and updates in regards to the channel. Please follow us on VidMe to get the latest and greatest videos that we produce. And if you feel inclined to, you can follow or subscribe, on YouTube to our channel as well.
And don't forget to join our Discord chat.
Yes, definitely do that. And if you are interested in finding out everything about LyteByte Studios, you can head over to LyteByteStudios.com. That is our big and great site that I actually manage. It's a lot of fun. I have no idea what I'm doing.
Don't worry, I don't think I don't either.
I
It's all
don't
up
think
to
a
our
lot of us do.
it's all up to our creative producer, Andrew, to sort everything out.
Yes. Again, special thanks to Andrew for being our live streaming guy every night. So yeah, I think that's about it. Anything else you'd like to add?
I would like to wish everybody a good day, night, evening, afternoon, or whatever time you happen to be watching this.
Yeah, it's it's about midnight right now, so yeah, it's late.
It is.
All right, thank you everybody for watching. We will catch you all next week.